So far we've talked about systems of equations, and every system of equations that we've looked at has resulted in an ordered pair as its solution. So that would be one solution, right? One point where they intersect, where they cross. But that's not always the case. So we're just going to talk about three types of solutions. So like I mentioned, the first type of solutions is a ordered pair. Or one solution. Okay, so that's going to be if you have two lines that are going to have different slopes, so that eventually they'll intersect. So different slopes. So the next type of solution is actually if two lines are parallel. Remember we learned when we talked about lines that parallel lines have the same slope, okay? So if parallel lines have the same slope, that means they're never going to intersect because they're the exact same slope every single time, right? These two lines have parallel slope, they're never going to intersect. And because they're never going to intersect, you're going to have no solutions. So that's the second. So one solution is the first. It's going to result in an ordered pair. No solution is the second. What that looks like is it looks like 2 equals 4 or -1 equals +1. So when you do all your work, you're going to get an answer that looks like that. What it might look like in the equation, remember we talked about as being the same slope. And we've got to be a little bit more specific because we also have to mention that there are different y-intercepts. Because if they're the same slope and they have the same y-intercept, it's going to actually result in our last type of solution. So no solutions are same slope, different y-intercept. The last one is infinite solutions. Remember the symbol for infinite is a sideways 8. What that looks like is when you do all the work, you get 2 equals 2 or -1 equals -1. You actually get the numbers to work out that they are true. Both of those are true, while the two equalities in the top are both false, right? So what that looks like in your line is they're going to have the same slope, but they're also going to have the same y-intercept. Think about it. If you have two lines that have infinite solutions, that means that at every single point they're the exact same. So if they're the same slope and the same y-intercept, that means they're the exact same line that lie right on top of each other. I'm going to draw a quick graph for all of these for you. So here's your first with one solution. You've got two lines with different slopes, and they intersect at a point. Okay. For no solutions, remember we talked about those being parallel lines with different y-intercepts. And then finally, for this infinite solution, they're going to be the exact same line because they're going to intersect at every single point. So they're going to be the exact same line. So those are your three different types of solutions. In the next video, we'll solve a system that results in one of these kind of solutions.